everybody, wanted to give you an overview of Module 4 for our EDU 271 Educational Technology course. Let's do as we always do and start right off with the module task list. When we look at that for this particular module, you'll see that we are going to do an assignment called Using the Interactive Whiteboard. We're going to have Chapter 6. We're going to have an assignment called Mobile Devices Special Needs Assignment. We're going to have Chapter 7, and then we have a midterm study guide. So that's everything that we will be reading. And then for completing, it's going to be very similar to what you just heard. The interactive whiteboard assignment will actually be turned in as well as a completed assignment this module. Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 review. They'll work exactly the same as the others have worked. Mobile devices special need assignment, that will also be turned in. And the due date you can see there on the screen. The midterm will open up the day after this module closes, and it'll be open for 4 days. And then there is a optional portfolio check-in. I do, however, highly suggest this because the portfolio is worth 100 points. Of course, it would be very helpful to know that you're on track and doing a good job with it. So this is an opportunity to send me what you have done so far with the portfolio so that I can give you any kind of feedback to help redirect you if you're off track, or affirm that you are on the right track so you can continue moving forward with confidence in increasing your chances of earning the full 100 points for the portfolio. So that is, you do get a little bit of extra credit points if you turn that in. And so that is you'll see that's due the day after the midterm closes. So that is what we're looking at. So now, as always, let's jump to the reading folder. So when we get down here to 4, you'll see our module reading assignments. You'll see the interactive whiteboard, which I'm going to show you in a minute. There's our Chapter 6. There's our Chapter 7 and mobile devices, and then the midterm. So let's now look at the interactive whiteboard assignment. The book already talks about interactive whiteboards, and hopefully from your own personal experience even, you can see how the dynamic whiteboard can really add to a class and enhance it. Here's a short article that also just basically confirms that as well. It's a little bit more research based, but it's an excellent way just to see that others are confirming our thoughts that this is a great opportunity for educational technology. So then for the assignment, what you're going to do is, I like to kind of think of it as a bag of tricks, so that if you say, a lot of our students sometimes will work as substitutes. So say you're working as a substitute, you get called into a room and they have an interactive whiteboard. A lot of times you are kind of expected to use it right there, and you might not be prepared. So hopefully what this would do would be to prepare you so that when you're in that classroom setting, you would have some things that you could instantly use. Or if you work as a teacher assistant in a public school, which several of our students do that as well, this again would give you an opportunity to have some whiteboard activities that are already created, ready for use. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. So what you would want to do is, there are 2 different kinds of boards that we see: smart boards and then Promethean boards. And the last time I checked, Clinton City Schools uses smart boards, Sampson County, I believe, uses Promethean boards. So that's the one downside, is that they're not exactly the same. These lesson banks that I'm going to send you to, it does matter which board you're trying to use. So some could be from Smart or Promethean. You need to decide where you think you most likely work at. So you're going to use the same theme. I had changed this, and I don't have the updated one right here. I pulled up the old one. Okay, anyways, in yours you'll see it says beach, and you can vary it to ocean, fish, sand, anything that is ocean based. So your page does say that. And there's some components to it. So first you're going to tell me your name and your setting, like where you're going to use this at. And then you're going to select an age or a grade, and you're going to select 5 different lessons. Attempt to represent different learning areas like math, science, language arts, etc., music, whatever. And then for each lesson, you're going to give the name of the lesson followed by a link to that lesson online, because this is like shopping for lessons. These lessons are already made for you, and they'll do fun and exciting things on the smartboard already. So you're literally just finding some that you think would be really easy to adapt, really easy to use, and beneficial to the students as well. Then you're going to give a brief summary of the lesson. Some of the lessons already have a summary on the site. You're free to use that summary if you give credit that, it's not your words if you do that. Then list several of the key interactive features of the lesson that you feel children will enjoy. Next, you're going to tell how you would use those features to involve the children in the lesson. So maybe, for example, you would have the students come up and move the items. Maybe it's a storytelling lesson, and they can storyline or timeline the story, and maybe you would have the students come up and order those in the correct order, and so you would describe that. And then you're going to conclude by telling if there's anything about the lesson that you would adapt or change. So maybe it was a great lesson, but there was some part of it that was not developmentally appropriate for the age group, and so you're going to take that out. Or maybe you're going to add something extra in so that more children could interactively engage with it. So be sure that you use proper spelling and grading in your summaries, and then here will be how the points will go. So you'll do this 5 times over. Each one's worth 10 points. 10 times 5, 50 points. So that's the interactive whiteboard, and those lessons are here and here. When you click on those links, it takes you to like a wide variety of lessons. You could search by grade or age, or by subject, or by theme. So lots of ways to search and find the lessons that you like. So you're kind of going shopping for pre-made lessons that you feel like would be a good bag of tricks for you to have if you went into a classroom and needed to use the smartboard kind of on the spot. So hopefully that makes that understandable. Again, any questions, please don't hesitate to call me or reach out to me by email or in person. The next one is the mobile devices, which this is support for students with special needs. It gives you several background information here about the assignment. Again, it comes from chapter 6 in your textbook. And then you'll find some, I list the most commonly encountered special needs that we find in the classroom. So these disabilities that you see there, they are the most common disabilities that you will come across in the regular classroom as the teacher or the assistant. So there are most prevalent disabilities in the education setting. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the check and tool tips on page 159 and tell us that it tells us about phones and iPads and iPods and how they could have a great deal of support for students through different types of apps. And so what you're going to do, this is similar to the other assignment where you are literally going to shop for apps. So you're going to choose an age or grade level of student that you're going to tell me that you're working with. Again, you can make this up. And you can just tell me that in a brief introduction. Then you're going to select 3 special needs from either the list above, or if you have something else in mind, I'm open to that. And you might want to ask me first. If it's something so rare that you're not going to come across it in the classroom, then I'd really prefer for you not to use it. But as long as it is something that you're going to come across and it would be worthwhile for you to do this assignment on it, by all means you can. So you're going to choose 3 special needs or areas of disability. And for each one, you're going to provide a brief definition or overview of that disability or special needs. Now I'm giving you a site right here that does that very thing for you. So one of the reasons why I have you do this is I want to make sure everybody knows what those are and what kind of help the student might need if they have that particular disability or disorder. So this is my way of guaranteeing that you've at least read and I have kind of reworded and spit back out to me the definition of the disorder. So then we're going to pretend that everybody has iPads in their classroom. So you're going to use the Apple apps. That way we're all looking at the same thing. And what you'll do is there's some things here I'll be looking for. You're going to give the name of the app and a link. You're going to give an overview of what what the app does. Sometimes the site that you find these at has an overview. Again, if you copy and paste that, just be sure to give credit so it's not plagiarism. And then specifically tell why you think this app would benefit a student with this need. Then give an example of how you would incorporate the use of this app in the classroom as part of differentiated instruction. Now, one other key piece of this I like to point out is differentiated instruction means that it's for that child to be able to work along with classmates in the regular setting. So this app would not be something that you would use with everybody, or else that wouldn't be differentiated instruction. So this app, how you're going to have that child who needs it use it in the regular full classroom setting. So just so you don't write to me that you're going to have everybody use the app, because that's not what we're looking for here. And then you're going to create that Microsoft Word document and save it and upload it to the Moodle site. So again, you're going to pick 3 of those disabilities or disorders. You're going to make sure you can define them. You're going to go shopping, and you could do a quick Google search. You could go to the App Store, whatever suits you as your means to find them. But then you're going to find apps for each of those. So each one will have an app associated with it that you think would help and be useful for students who may have that disability or disorder. So, and what you need to tell about it is all listed here on this sheet. So I hope that helps with that. And just back to the course real quick to finish up the module. You'll see here, again, we've looked at the task list, the reading. These are your reviews. This is where you turn in the interactive whiteboard assignment that we already talked about. This is where you turn in the mobile devices special needs assignment that we just talked about. Here is the Module 4 forum. Once this module is over, the midterm opens. This is right here is where you click to take the midterm. And if you choose to submit the portfolio, you turn that in here. So I hope that helps you with a complete understanding of Module 4, and I'll talk to you again soon in Module 5.